Welcome to Hard English Stories. Here you'll learn English with stories, short stories in clear, natural English. Stories about people under pressure, strange events, tough choices, and moments that change everything. This is not textbook English. This is real listening practice. Extortion. "Will you be my friend today?" Jeffrey asked as we walked home from school. We often walked home from school together. Cars passed us by. Occasionally, airplanes flew overhead, but there were few other children on the street. We lived in the same housing tract. The families who lived in our neighborhood were not rich. The men worked in the oil fields or at the Air Force Base or were skilled laborers. The women stayed at home and became addicted to prescription drugs as they drank wine from boxes. Jeffrey, through no fault of his own, was the kid who got bullied. He looked normal enough. He was a tall, skinny fifth grader with brown hair. He seemed smart, maybe too smart for his own good. "Sure, I'll be your friend today," I finally answered. Jeffrey was on my left. I reached out with my left arm as if to give him a hug. My hand patted his left shoulder. Without any warning, I clamped down on his shoulder and pulled him forward. As he stumbled, I stepped across his path with my left leg, making sure my knee was pointed down towards the ground in case he stumbled into me. Grandpa had taught me this and called it taiotoshi. Jeffrey crashed into the ground with barely any sound. "See you tomorrow, friend," I said in farewell. The next day at school, Jeffrey seemed to have forgotten how badly I'd treated him. "Will you be on my soccer team?" Jeffrey asked me at the lunch recess. "Sure, no problem." I had been walking aimlessly around the school anyways. "I'll buy you a bag of popcorn for playing on my team," Jeffrey offered. There were bags of popcorn for sale after school. One paper bag of popcorn for $0.25. We played soccer. Our team won. I had already forgotten about the popcorn. The next day, I was sitting in class when the intercom sounded. It sat impossibly high up on the wall and was rarely used, except to summon students who were in trouble. The other students turned and looked at me as I was called to the principal's office. "Sit there," Mrs. Vader said as she pointed to the chair farthest from the door. I sat. The usually friendly office ladies wouldn't look at me. I sat there looking around for my mom. She had picked me up from school twice before, once because I had a dentist appointment, and once because my dad had slipped in the garage and broke his arm. Mom was nowhere in sight. The office ladies spoke to each other while energetically pretending not to look at me. "The police are on their way," one said. "Juvenile hall," another added. "They'll eat him alive." "The principal will see you now," Mrs. Vader announced. To my surprise, Jeffrey and his mother sat across a large desk from the principal. "You're lucky I don't call the police," the principal began. "I want you to call them," Jeffrey's mom added. "I might," the principal replied. Neither of them could see Jeffrey smirk at me. "What did I do?" I asked. "Don't speak without permission," the principal answered. "Okay. I said don't speak." He rose halfway out of his chair, pointing at me. "Do you understand?" I remained silent. He sat back down. He glanced at a yellow legal notepad. "Do you know what extortion is?" he asked as he looked up from his notes and at me. I remained silent. "Answer him," Jeffrey's mother. I remained silent. "Answer him," Jeffrey's mother. I said nothing in response, but stared at Jeffrey. Jeffrey sat leaning into his mother as if she was the couch. In the office chair, he looked like that scientist in a wheelchair. I was too confused to be scared. If I was here for tripping Jeffrey, surely this would have happened yesterday. Extortion, the principal began, is when you force someone to give you money, or force someone to buy you popcorn, Jeffrey's mother chimed in shrilly. The principal, convinced of my guilt, thought he had put the fear of God into me. Instead, he had taught me a new word. I got off easy. I was not sent home. My parents were not notified. I saw Jeffrey and one of his friends shooting hoops on the basketball court. I rode my bicycle down the ice plant-covered hill next to the stairs and dismounted without using the kickstand. I balled my right hand into a fist and stepped close to Jeffrey. "I'll be your friend today," I said as I punched him hard in the stomach. He doubled over and fell to the blacktop of the court. "Tell your mom I said hi," I waved as I rode off. Thank you for listening to this episode of Hard English Stories. I'm your host, Frank Davis. If you've enjoyed this story, please follow us on Spotify or YouTube and be sure to share with a friend.